Scusa, scusa, volevo, perdonami. Cosa posso?
Great storytelling without needing words to communicate her journey. Really great pacing to allow us those private moments with these characters and let us sink into those private moments, which really help with the empathy aspect and the intimacy as well. And we got quite closely connected to them. It captured that sense of becoming, that sense of being entwined with another, and those fleeting moments that can really change our path, or that linger with us, the what ifs. Richly emotional score throughout to help aid this as well. And I think that they handled the there was nothing unnecessary throughout the piece. It felt all very deliberate.
This piece is a love story. It seems to be a lot of focus on connection and then the feeling of disconnection from someone you want to be connected with. The two actors portray a chemistry, and they don't rely heavily on dialogue to do this. It's more of a feeling that they portray, and a lot of it is evident through the subtext, in the glances and the interactions, which is why it is so clear a difference from when we see the connection to when we no longer see the connection. We can see that difference very clearly within the performances, because of the just the strength of the portrayal of that sense of wanting that we saw in the end. It made it very clear the difference between the beginning and the end.
It was very much about the simplicity of human connection, and just based on how human connection is based around energy and feeling. I like how, since they were speaking a little bit in sign language, and there was like virtually no dialogue, they replaced all of that dialogue with music, which really helped to get their intended emotion across, which I think is really smart, especially for a short film. I really especially liked the scene when she's alone in her room and they show her doing small everyday tasks and putting her goals up on sticky notes for traveling and stuff like that. And the overall theme that they keep throughout, which ties this, which is about wanting new connections and experiences.
We get brought to this notion that people can change at any time. And so here we are brought to a situation with these two characters, and we kind of get to see them at this first meeting, this first glance, the beginning of the relationship, and a little bit past the end of their relationship, because we see them when they are together and we see them when they're apart, but um, we really get to see them at their true end, right? We kind of get to see them have this moment where they're introduced and kind of having this time of separation, and you can really feel that distance that exists between them. I mean, it's out there for all to see, and I think the cinematography and the production design do a really good job, especially with the scene of, um, you see her walking down the way in this red dress, and he notices her, and he kind of, rather than what you think would be a moment of him maybe going out to go see her or go have one last conversation, maybe get that sense of closure, he really comes back and ends up really catering to himself in that moment. And you can really get that sense of uh, loneliness that one feels like after a breakup. Um, and you kind of really do get this sensory experience, right? Because she does have a loss of hearing in, her ears. So you kind of get that sensitivity to sound. You kind of get that moment within the sound design as well.
In the beginning, it really drew me in as far as who is this person and what's going on. And when she first bumped into the guy, I thought she just had her music in her ears. And then later on, it comes out that she's deaf. And so I thought that was really interesting, and how two people can be connecting without speaking. You know, us who can hear don't really think about that. And I just thought it was a very simple story, but told very well and kind of enlightening and from a good perspective. So I thought it was neat, and I appreciate the creativity here.
Talks about like a life of a woman who just kind of like navigating like her love life when it's colliding with her personal like perspective. I feel like it happens with everybody out there when you want to bring someone into your life, but at the same time, there's something like in your personality that might not be a good match with them. So it's kind of like running like pretty slow in this movie, but it's also like moving, like it's touching like your soul when you're seeing like what life like meeting someone and eventually it doesn't work out and it needs to, be let go eventually. So in terms of story, I feel like it's well narrated, it's well like built like for everybody to understand. The performances are good and the use of music like helps a lot too.